30 years ago in Romania, a team of treasure hunters discovers in the mountains the remains of a 13th century monastery, which was built over the entrance to a huge underground cave. They hope for rich booty. Inside the monastery, there are images of death and its accompanying attributes everywhere. To get into the cave, one of the men decides to use explosives, after which a hole opens in the floor. But the explosion damages the ancient structure, and the team falls down. People come to their senses and see how stones begin to fall from above, sealing the exit. The diggers descend further in the hope of finding a way out on the other side and hear strange rattling sounds in the darkness. Nowadays, in the Carpathians, expeditions of scientists excavate a collapsed monastery and find the entrance to a cave in the middle of which a river flows. Biologists believe that the underground may contain an unexplored ecosystem, so the expedition leader, Dr. Nikolai, hires a group of professional American speleologists led by brothers Jack and Tyler McAllister. The team includes climber Charlie, scout Bricks, sonar expert Strode, and survival expert Top Buchanan. Tyler meets Nikolai's assistant, biologist Catherine, and videographer Kim, who is busy studying shoes found in the cave. In the evening, Jack briefs the team on the action plan. Having sailed along the underwater river, they have to find a place where they can set up camp, and Bricks is the first to go. Nikolai is told that the church was built to cover a cave where, according to legend, the Knights Templar fought with winged demons, but lost and died. In the morning, speleologists descend to the base of the cave. The team sets up camp and deploys equipment. Meanwhile, Bricks floats along the underground river, periodically contacting the others. At this time, Catherine shows Tyler the first spider found underground, and suddenly, the connection with Bricks stops. Jack orders his brother to prepare for the dive, but then the connection is restored, and Bricks enters an unprecedented cave and sends the place he has chosen for camp. Suddenly, something runs past him, and the man admits that he has never seen such a creature that looks like a rat and a mole at the same time. But suddenly, the image disappears again. Jack commands to dive, and the team sets off. They swim along an underground river. After a long time, they find the place Bricks chose for the camp. But the strangest thing is that the remains of underwater equipment are found nearby. It becomes clear that they are not the first here. While others set up camp, Strode and Tyler try to find a break in the optical fiber that Bricks laid out. Tyler inspects the underwater part, and Strode gets out of the water, where they see some bloody remains. He tries to call Tyler when he is attacked by a creature. Tyler hears screams and rushes to help. Strode tries to escape by grabbing onto his underwater scooter, but the monster drags him away. A running scooter hits the wall, thereby causing a rockfall. As a result, the exit is blocked, and Tyler is thrown to the surface of the river. Speleologists explore the tunnel, but there is no way back anymore. Rescuers will begin looking for them no earlier than 12 days later, but by then, they will already have run out of supplies. They decide to look for a new way out. Jack orders the team to rest before the difficult journey. The man and Top go to explore the cave. He really doesn't like the current situation, because so far, no one on his team has died. Meanwhile, Catherine examines the remains of an unknown creature and isolates a parasite that lives in the dungeon. At this time, Jack is attacked by a creature similar to the one who dragged Strode away, but the guy manages to light the flare, and the monster, having scratched the man, runs away. Top helps the wounded man get to the camp, where he is treated, and he shows off a huge claw that he managed to cut off from the attacker. Catherine examines his cells and also notices a parasitic mutation. She explains that all known cave species came here from the surface, and over generations they adapted and mutated. If this cave is an independent ecosystem, then species from prehistoric times could remain here, and most likely, they are all infected with the same parasite. After some time, the team sets off, and soon, Nikolai finds a human bone with traces of teeth. Perhaps this is the owner of the boots found earlier. Then the speleologists come to two passages, from where Jack finds a path to the rise, which should lead to a new branch of the river. After some time, people find water. Jack throws down a flare and tries to determine the depth. Kim turns on the camera and wants to film this, but Jack suddenly knocks it out of the cameraman's hands and pushes the man away. No one understands his aggression, but the leader immediately apologizes. While the group is resting, Jack moves away, and suddenly his vision sharpens, and he begins to hear people talking in another part of the cave. Tyler tries to talk to his brother, but he acts as usual. He commands the dive and asks everyone to stick together. The explorers dive, but do not notice that one of the underground monsters is watching them. After a while, people begin to feel a strong current and realize that there are rapids ahead. Jack pairs people up, and the group begins their descent through a series of rapids. Suddenly, Catherine screams that she feels like something is holding her, but Tyler can't come back for her. The current is too strong. The guy is carried down past Nikolai, who is holding onto a rock and asking for help. But the speleologist cannot help. He is pulled in by the current and carried to a relatively calm place. Catherine and Charlie also end up there, who are scared by someone in the water. Tyler dives and manages to see a toothy creature. He lights the fire and immediately hears the call of the rest of his friends. It turns out that only Nikolai was left behind. At this time, the doctor is also thrown into the lake. Jack swims towards him and sees the man being dragged underwater by an unknown creature. At the same time, the others see something like a huge eel swimming around the group and begin to panic. Jack catches up with the monster, which drags Nikolai into a crevice and sees strange tattooed letters on the creature's paw. He realizes that he cannot help and returns to the team. Jack orders everyone to get out of the water. The biologist suggests that the creatures see them using echolocation. People go out into a huge cave, along the bottom of which a river flows. Kim assumes that a strong current will carry them outside, but Jack orders to get out through the top, although the way is too steep. He assures that none of them understands what is really going on, and forbids Charlie to go first. At this moment, Catherine draws Tyler's attention to her brother's condition. She is sure that he is sick and can no longer lead them. Charlie begins to rise without permission. The woman is climbing the wall when a toothy monster comes out to meet her. She stumbles and falls off the cliff. The ropes don't hold up. The woman hits the stone walls and hangs high above the floor. After some time, she comes to her senses and tries to get to the safety rope, but the monster is waiting for her. Then Charlie burns him with fire from a torch. She cuts the rope and gets to the belay, but when she is already preparing to go down, the monster flies up and grabs her. Charlie fights back with a knife and sets the monster on fire, but still dies. Now everyone can see that Jack is mutating. Catherine suggests that all this is happening because of the parasite, and most likely, the creatures were also once human. Brix refuses to listen to Jack, and the team disbands. Brix and Catherine decide to escape along the river. Top and Tyler stay with Jack and begin to climb towards the passage that Charlie was able to reach. But when they get there, it turns out that further downhill begins again. The Top comes first. Suddenly, Tyler's equipment breaks, knocking Top off the wall. He flies down and badly injures his leg. The brothers help the guy get up and discover a hole made by the equipment, from which there is a smell of methane. They go inside and find a cave that has a lot of burning torches. They see human skeletons and fragments of ancient weapons. Apparently, Nikolai was talking about this place, which means there is a way out somewhere nearby. But then Jack starts to feel really bad. He orders his brother and friend to escape without him while he returns his friends from a wrong way. But Tyler asks to be given this opportunity and goes to catch up with those who have left. At this time, Brix, Catherine, and Kim encounter a creature that attacks Brix and drags him away. And another monster steals a rebreather from Jack and Top, without which it is impossible to dive into the lake, where there is a way out. Tyler finds traces of blood and manages to notice how Brix disappears into the crevice. He rushes after him and sees a man crucified on the wall. He asks to save Catherine. Then Tyler is attacked by a monster. The guy tries to escape when the creature suddenly retreats. Catherine appears from the passage and scares away the monsters with a device that emits sound waves. The couple goes to the methane cave, but there is again water ahead. They dive and make their way through a narrow passage to the other side. Tyler helps the girl come to her senses. At this moment, Kim finds them. Together, they climb to the entrance to the burning cave. The survivors meet at a place where the water boils, indicating the exit. Jack warns that the creatures are coming for them, so they need to hurry. But first, they need to get to the stolen rebreather. Jack goes to get the device. At this time, Kim is attacked by a monster and dies. Top and Catherine dive. Tyler notices the creature and kills it with a knife. At this time, Jack gets to the rebreather and throws it to his brother. The man then pulls out the gas canister and orders his brother to leave. Jack blows it up and the cave collapses. The survivors swim out into the mountain lake and find themselves on the surface. Sometime later, Tyler and Catherine meet in a cafe. The guy is sad about his brother and hopes that he was able to survive. Catherine admits that at first she thought the parasite was happy down there, but apparently it wanted to get out. She kisses the guy and quickly leaves. Tyler realizes that Catherine's eyes have changed, just like Jack's. He runs after her, but the woman has already disappeared into the crowd.